Seagulls flying around. People walking by. How you doing? It's a beautiful day when the sun's out that way. Yeah. Little wispy clouds. Just little wispy things, you know? You can see right through them. Ah, boy. Well, I have to take these out so I can see my tuner. You don't mind, do you? Ooh. The weather made everything get weird. Cold. Close enough. It's gonna go out some more as we go, of course. Oh, look at them mountains. They look so real. A couple of boats. A white one and a gray one. Another gray one with a little sail mast on it. No sail, just the mast. Masts are on sale, I suppose, but you gotta be careful what you buy when it's on sale, because sometimes that's how they get rid of the bad stuff. Dogs go walking their humans. Bicycles carrying their humans. Smartphones let you, oh boy, and the hat flies right off the human playing the guitar. Hold on now. Thought that might happen out here. Just hold on, it's going to get weird, but it's going to get good before it gets really weird. I'll just go like that. Golden Gardens. That's where we are now. I don't know if you can, what you can. Seems to me like it should be more towards my mouth. The microphone here. Welcome to Golden Gardens.
Don't mess with that. I will do
it. Trees have leaves on them. It's just that this time of year they become transparent. Do some songs for a while here. Hope it all works out fine. Leave the blues behind. Crossing that line, 2023. Boy, that seems weird to me. Because when I got used to saying 2022, they pull a fast one on me. Add another number on. To look at now we have to look at our notebooks every time we write the date down, don't we? That happens for the first 6 months out of the year. Then you get used to it and they do it again to you. Dog poking his head out of a pickup truck over yonder. The dog's doing the driving, the humans checking on the map to make sure they go in the right way. The human's the co-pilot. Dog is my co-pilot. So I'm going to sing a bunch of songs out here. There's a bird skimming across the top of the water. There's that boat I talked about earlier that has a mast but no sail. But the mast was on sale when they bought it. So that's, you know, that's why they got to be careful, because the sail mast sometimes is the last mast to come off the assembly line. And that's why it's on sale. This song goes out to all my friends in the Seattle chapter of the Black Panther Party. You know who you are. Song called Mr. Grouter. Every day early in the morning, when the sunlight rises, cut through the fog, footsteps softly sound around the corner. It's Mr. Grouter walking with his dog. Coat collar up, warm against the weather. Got his captain's cap riding in place. The daylight brightens and the mist is lifting. It's another new day, you can see it on his face. I'm going back to Louisiana one of these days. I'm back to Louisiana, but till then, this is where I am gonna stay. Never made much money in the money world. Never learned to read or to write so well. Never had a vote cause he couldn't read the ballot. He could see fine just clearing a bell. He used to work a job in the shipyard docks. When years ago he was a younger man, changes came and left him stranded. Put him out walking with time on his hands. Going back to Louisiana one of these days, going back to Louisiana, but till then, this is where I am gonna stay. Now, who would ever steal an old man's money? How's he gonna pay for the rent? But this old man had friends and neighbors, and they knew about the way things went. So they had a little talk with the landlord, and they taught Mr. Grouter how to sign his name. And he ran those thieves so far out of town, now they never came back again. Going back to Louisiana one of these days. And back to Louisiana, but till then, this is where I am gonna stay. Going back to Louisiana one of these days. Back to Louisiana, but till then, this is where I am gonna stay. So every day early in the morning, with his best friend Curly walking by his side, thinking about those family relations. Way down south is a mighty long ride. Good morning, Mr. Grouter, tell me how you doing. It's a mighty fine day with the sun so bright. Tell me, have you got any plans for the future? Well, I'm gonna take a trip if it works out right. to Louisiana, but till then this is where I am. Stay. I'm going back to Louisiana one of these days. Back to Louisiana, but till then this is where I am. They got some good people in this town. That's right. Way up north in Buffalo, way up east in Buffalo, there is a place you ought to know. People there will tell you so. It's a good barbershop. C&C is the place to be for haircuts, talk, and company. It's a fine barbershop. When the big storm hit with all that snow, the temperature's way down below. It's cold in old Buffalo, but a warm in the barbershop. And when the drifts piled up to the chin, people stuck in the cars they were driving in, Craig Elston said, "Come on in, it's warm in the barbershop." He said, "Get you some electricity, charge your phone, call your family. Barbershop welcomes you, see, 'cause it's warm in here." Women, children, families poured in through that wide open door. Pretty soon there were 40 or more inside the barber shop. Well, they slept on the floor and in the chairs. People sleeping everywhere. Some even got haircuts while they were there because it was warm in the barber shop. Say, "Howdy, friend, what's your name? Turn on the TV, watch the game. Touchdowns help to ease the strain of In the Barbershop." What a way to spend the Christmas season. World outside was dark and freezing. Play it safe, stands to reason, stay in the barbershop. Christmas dinner, corner market, hot pockets, chips and Vienna sausage, gourmet barber shop. When the weather lifted, well now, Craig Elston said eventually, when the weather lifted, so did he. He hadn't slept in days, you see, because it was his barbershop. How many lives were saved those days, I don't know. But be amazed that not more were lost because of the ways of Craig Elston and his barbershop. I don't know if there's a great arranger, but every time there's a present danger, there's a handout from a stranger from a warm barber shop. So if you're ever up in old Buffalo, you need a warm place to go or just a haircut, you know where to be. On the corner, look around, you're in the right part of town. Just ask people, they'll batten you down at the C&C. 'Cause no one turns a stranger down see and see. Hold on now. Here we go. Here we go. Train coming through. Train. Coming through. You can hear the cars coupling, uncoupling. You can hear the rails. You can hear the wheels on the rails. There it goes. Big engine like a thunder. All that horsepower under it. Headed out of town. San Francisco bound. Omaha, Nebraska, Rapid City, Pittsburgh, moving the freight, trying not to be late. 2 cars on a wagon, 2 cars. I'll tell you a story. All good friends of mine, of the heroes and survivors of a terrible time. 2 great peoples, separated by the sea, joined in understanding of a great calamity. Oh, great calamity. 1831, it was the darkest of their years. Andrew Jackson drove the Choctaw on the Trail of Tears, with the saber and the rifle on a 1,000-mile drive to the land of Oklahoma. Only half would survive. Only half would survive. They called a reservation. It was a cage without a wire. What 100 years later the Germans would admire, surrounded by a state that held the lock and key to the vision of their future and their free humanity. Oh, their free humanity. World away in the emerald Irish land, famine stalked the countryside with doom on every hand. Starvation, desperation, driven to extremes, they died eating grass, their mouths stained with green. Oh, their mouths stained with green. And it was the British Empire that held the lock and key to their island reservation and their free humanity. Across the hungry countryside, they walked a trail of tears through death and emigration. Half the people disappeared. Half the people disappeared. Travels fast when it goes from hand to hand, all across the mighty ocean to the Oklahoma land. And when the Choctaw heard the story of the Irish and their plight, they knew they were related, though the skins were red and white. Though their skins were red and white. And though their hands were nearly empty and their lands were nearly bare, they collected all the money that they thought that they could spare, and they sent it off to Ireland, to They're unknown new friends, $170. It was a fortune to them then. It was a fortune to them Now you may wonder at my story. You may marvel at his worth, but I tell you there is goodness in the people of the earth. And I tell you there is beauty in the darkest of the days, and a light to come shining and blow the darkness all away. Blow the darkness all away. Thank you, Katie. This one won't blow off, and I don't need. Yeah, I got sunglasses. Fine. Let's see. The song was adopted by the auto harp players of Bellingham, or some of them anyway. Called Hole in the Air. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there, through a hole in the air. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there, a hole in the air. She had a good life. She was the pride of her hometown. And her dreams came true like dreams will do when they don't let you down. She had a true love, as true as love will be. And the lifelines were intertwined for all the world to see. And there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there. A hole in the air. Yes, and there were times when they were timeless then. And the seasons passed through into glass, and they became best friends, and the planets rolled round a great revolving wheel. The circumference of that kind of love is something to reveal. There's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there, through a hole in the air. Yes, and if I was a raindrop and I fell into the sea, you'd know where I had gone, but you would never find me. celebrate and we sing to tell a tale, remembering the things we bring along the crooked trail, stumbling, brilliant, we are necessary fools. The diamonds and the tears, they all look like jewels, and there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there, through a hole in the air. And there's a hole in the air where the wind blows through. A hole in the air and it looks like you. Nobody knows where you go when you go way out there. Way out there, through a hole in the air. And that's how that goes. Well, I hope you're good wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life. I don't know. We're doing fine here. You know, things are starting to open up, and I'm putting some gigs together, tours and stuff. A few festivals. Got a Canadian festival I'm doing in July. Vancouver Island Music Festival. Not the Vancouver Folk Festival in Vancouver, but Vancouver Island Music Festival. And there's a couple other festivals up there I'm hoping to get a shot back from. You know, and some stuff down here, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll be getting out and around. Just gotta be careful, that's all. Drive around with extra masks in the car in case you pick up a hitchhiker. Here, put this on and get in the back. I didn't know my father could sing. I never heard a note. He was an engineer with a slide rule and a shot coat. Poetry was not in his nature, nor whimsy his forte. I didn't know my father could sing until I heard him sing one day. He was 91 years old when we were shooting the breeze about the days when people listened to different melodies. And there was one in particular that had a certain kind of swing. So he sat up a little straighter in his chair and he began to sing. And there was Lily Marlene and a bicycle built for two. And they moved on down to the orchard town near Mountain View. And sometimes he sang out loud when there was no one around. It was a great big world and it just kept spinning around. Now the funny thing is, back in the day before all our tables were turned, I was the one trying to sing a song that I just learned. And he was looking at me like I was a fool, and maybe I was. 'Cause I just kept going. And that's what a fool does. And I was yelling at him, and he was yelling at me. I couldn't hear, he couldn't see. And I slammed the door, and I was gone. And 50 years later, he's singing me a song. out to where all of us will go, past the walls and the bridges of the goodbye hello. For all of the songs and the way I do it, I do. I think I understand a little better now. This one's for you. 'Cause there was Lily Marlene and a bicycle built for two, and they moved on down to the orchard town, and they had a kid or two, and sometimes they sang out loud when there was no one around. It was a great big world, and it just kept spinning around. It was a great big world, and it just kept spinning around. That's right. Dogs are waking up. Dogs are coming out here. They talk to each other like that. They got to say a lot in just a couple of barks because their owners always tell them to shut up. If people would just let them talk, they could keep it down and they could have little confabs, you know. Katie's talking now about Dr.
I studied Dr.
Tell these people they can't.
I studied the Dr. Dolittle dictionary and learned a little bit of dog.
Yeah?
I learned some donkey also.
Dog and donkey?
And aardvark.
Wow.
I was fluent at aardvark.
Oh, they got those long noses. A little tiny mouth in the... How do they talk with that little tiny mouth?
Would you like to hear my story? I'm an expert.
Yeah.
So, anyway, these dogs were just coming by. I wanted them to sort of clam up a little bit because one was going, this is woof, 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 woof. Who is that guy playing the guitar and singing? And the other dog okay, it's these two dogs here. And the other dog said, woof, woofity, woof, woof. It's this guy, Jim Page. That's all I know. They're pretty.
Well, I play a lot of, on purpose, I play a lot of notes that you can't even hear. People out there can't hear. The microphones can't pick it up. It's for dogs, you know. So dogs do kind of like they like what I'm doing. No one can sing the blues like Lightnin Hopkins. I don't care what anybody said. I was 15 years old, riding by the passenger window with my radio up against my head. And that's when I heard him for the first time, cutting in through the noise of the car. And my whole world turned upside down, yes it did. I just had to learn to sing and play guitar. So I got on my bicycle with a high-rise handlebars, and I would ride for 20 miles in a run. I got every one of his records I could find back then. I had 11 of them by the time I was done. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's alright. I never learned to play the blues, but I could sing and play guitar all night. Now years later, up here in Seattle town, Lightnin came through playing 3 nights in a row. I caught up with him early in the dressing room. Somehow I just had to let him know. So I took out my guitar and I started playing. And I made him up a song to tell it right about the radio, the car, and all of his records. And how glad I was to meet him that night. And I sang about what he taught me without even knowing it. And all the lessons I still had to learn. And Lightnin, he just grinned. When I was done, he told me a story in return. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's alright. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. Now this is what he told me. He said he was walking around the backwoods down in Texas one time. That's where he grew up. Where was I now? So I interrupted my own verse and I got it. He was walking around the backwoods down in Texas one time. When He was only 12 years old. He was carrying his guitars almost as big as he was. He was tired, hungry, and cold. He saw some people were having a picnic, and he asked if he could sing for his meal. They turned him away, they said, because he was too raggedy. He could still remember how it made him feel. Then he looked off into the distance through his dark sunglasses, and he grinned a little more just for chance. He said, now I got money in the bank back home. And they know who I am in France. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar. Lightnin died back in '82. I can still remember where I was and how I heard. I was playing the meeting place in Dublin. The local blues singer gave me the word. Now some people, they pass right through you. Maybe they leave a little mark. Some people shine like a light for you sometimes. Help you find your way when it gets dark. They say that this world is made of stories, and from these stories our songs are grown. Sometimes the songs just get so big, you have to go out and make a song of your own. And I never learned to play the blues. I hope that's all right. I never learned to play the blues, but I can sing and play guitar all night. I'm going to do this in the same key. I got the freedom to do that because, you know, it's cold and it's a beautiful day. I play music the dogs like. Some songs just don't seem to lose their relevancy. Make sure I get the groove right. Hold on. Yeah, that's good. Come on over here. Let me see what you got in your hand. Come on, let me see. You could ruin somebody's life with that thing, maybe me. You go walking around feeling like a big shot because you got one in your waist. Making widows and orphans out of mothers and children all over the place. Get rid of that thing. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. Get rid of that thing. Yes, I built this country, so what? So do real estate tycoons. Smallpox blankets and real estate agents, dime novel cartoons, guns and drums and more guns. Everywhere you look, get rid of that thing. Put it in the history book, get rid of that. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. Second Amendment, my ass, you can't even count that far. I got a right not to get shot by Ted Nugent's other guitar. You got something to say, why don't you just open up your mouth? I know you got a brain in there somewhere. Yeah, so let it out and get rid of that thing. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. Get rid of it. Now you say you got one around the house just in case, and you keep it safely put until you put your hand in your pocket all of a sudden and you shoot yourself in the foot. Now, didn't you know that was going to happen? It's not even a matter of if. Wherever there's a jump off, there's bound to be a cliff. Get rid of that. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Go on. Get rid of it. Police got him. Army's got him. Bikers got him. Cartels got him. Your Uncle Louie's got him. And you got one too. For protection from infection. To overturn the last election with a would-be insurrection. Now what are you gonna do? Get rid of that thing. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. Down at VFW Hall in Santa Cruz, California, they built a monument to carnage as a way to try to warn you. And in the base of that monument, there's more than 100 useless guns, all melted down and mixed into concrete. Now that's the way it's done. Get rid of that thing. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. Get rid of that thing. Hear what I say? Get rid of that thing. Throw it away. You got anybody on there?
Yeah.
Good.
400
400.
people. There's 11 real smart people. And, everybody had to go do stuff.
Oh, I know. It's a Tuesday. People are working and stuff. Well, I got a new record out. It's not all that new now. It came out last year. You know, with pandemics going on, and I don't understand the music business anymore, and there's people don't buy solid projects to get things, whatever. You know, it's one of those weird things. But it's out, and it's really good, and it's called The Time Is Now. And it's got a bucket load of really good musicians on it. It's got Dune Butler, it's got Jessica Lurie, it's got Joel Litwin, it's got J.R. Rhodes, and it's got, well, this guy that came in and played the guitar and sang. He's okay. But it's really good. It was recorded locally, right down the street from where I am now, a place called Studio Litho. And this song is on there. And, you know, I'm doing solo out here in the cold, as opposed to having all these great people playing on, making it, you know, in a nice warm studio. So it might be a little raggedy, but I'll do it anyway. The song is called Amadou Diallo, and it was written shortly after the WTO events in Seattle. So that would have been the beginning of 2000 or the end of 1999, one of the two. I wrote it in there. And it was about a man whose name was Amadou Diallo. He was West African. Well, you'll hear it in the song. But it was one of our ever-present police killings, you know, where they go out and just gun people down because they don't like the hue of their skin. And, you know, they think they might be going for a gun when they were actually going for their wallet, which is what Amadou was doing, going for his wallet. But, you know. So, and he was killed by members of the Special Patrol. No, wait a minute. Street Crime Unit, that's right. Street Crime Unit. A plainclothes Special Tactical Unit. Okay, so you got four people in plain clothes surrounding you in your doorway, asking you for your wallet. Now that's bound to make you a little bit, you know. And he goes for his wallet because I think somebody probably showed him a badge. He goes for his wallet, and they take out their guns because, after all, you know, that's just the way they do things in America. So, and things hadn't changed at all since that, and since the summer of George Floyd. Things hadn't changed at all. They've gotten worse, if anything. So the song is called Amadou Diallo. It goes like that. Amadou Diallo, New York City, shot her 19 times to get away with murder. It ought to be a capital crime after midnight. I'm missing something. Hold on now. Oh, I know. That's right. Got it. That's it. Gotta get that groove in there just right, or it all goes to hell. Amadou Diallo, New York City, shot her 19 times to get away with murder. It ought to be a capital crime after midnight. 4 white cops from the elite corps and Amadou Diallo standing in his own front door. Amadou Diallo, he was a West African man. They said he was suspicious. He had something in his hand. It was his wallet. It was his wallet. They put the trial up in Albany, where the police have more friends, and they said it was a big mistake. They never let it happen again. His mother crying in a far-off, lonesome place. She came to see justice done. What she got was a slap in the face. Gunslingers walking on the side of the law. Some have got a real short fuse, and that can be a fatal flaw if you fit the description. They might want to see you dance. Amadou Diallo, you never had a chance. Now there's a woman in the harbor, and she's carrying a burning light, but it's getting hard to see now. There's gonna be a storm tonight. Can't you hear the thunder? Can't you feel that a river runs? Someone asks a question, someone give an answer. Something's gotta be done. Everybody's talking. There's something on everybody's mind. Amadou Diallo, It ought to be a capital crime, Amadou Diallo. Is that right? No, it's got to be down here.
When there's a message on here, it
Yeah?
says somebody's. I never figured out what this means. It says someone's name. It says wants to join you on video.
I don't know what that means either.
Is that somebody like that doesn't have Facebook?
I don't know. I have no idea. Who is it? Does it say? Took a bus to Broadway to see the streetlights shine, the rustle of the windy breeze and the shadows in my mind, feeling like a stranger in my own hometown. And I let my collar and I walked it around. Lately I've been thinking about the holes inside of me, and what it takes to fill them up, keep them company. Everybody needs to know the difference it can make, but such a stubborn disposition is a hard one to break. Oh stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Anymore. Oh stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Don't be a stranger anymore. Last time I saw your face, you were turning it away. My head mouth was empty, there was nothing I could say. With you away in your world, me away in mine, could have crossed it over, but we never took the time. Oh stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Don't be a stranger anymore. Oh stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Don't be a stranger. Standing at the crossroads, whichever way you go, someone will be waiting. Somebody, maybe somebody you should know. Everybody is a stranger here. We're wrapped in our disguise, reflecting faces from the mirror of our eyes. Oh, stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Don't be a stranger anymore. Oh, stranger, can't you see there's a stranger in me? Open up the door. Don't be a stranger anymore. That's right. Hold a second. It's a true story. That's right. Got it now. Being a Californian by birth, peninsula, you know, nearly endless suburbia. That's what it seems like until you start getting into it, and then it gets kind of interesting. But you know, just glossing over it, it looks like endless suburbia. But it is a very interesting place. Anyway, I was born and raised down there in the late '60s. I decided I better get out before it got me. What was going on at the time? So I hitchhiked to New York City. New Year's Day, 1970, that's right. Me and a buddy, my New Year's Day, we stood at the freeway entrance, headed east in Berkeley. We figured if anyone would give us a ride all the way to New York City, it'd be somebody from Berkeley, but no such luck. 10 days later, finally made it. There was a stop off in Yellow Springs, Ohio, where we had some friends. College out there. This is a story about being in New York. One of the things that happened there. I hope you're okay. I hope this makes sense. I hope you like it. I'm just making it up as I go along. Down where I was born and raised, and where I spent my younger days, there were roads to travel by, to take us to the long goodbye. I left home when I was 17, lost and lonely, seldom seen, and I stuck out my thumb and I headed east, searching for the great release. And so along, come and go along, so along, come and go. Oh, I tumbled into a dirty town, penniless and broken down, and I slept on rooftops, scavenged meals, and drove the dirty driving wheels. And I met some fine and friendly folk, and some who'd kill you for a joke, and I put myself out there to find how would my tangled self unwind. And so along, come and go along, so along, come and One morning early in mid-July, some switchblade strangers passing by directly pointed in my face, freezing all the world in place. And that was when I made my sense, and I carried it with me ever since, that I would not be turned around by this or any other town. And so long, come and go along, so along, come and go. And so my friend, now you know, no defeat nor mortal blow, just follow where the road will lead to another dream defeat. And so along, come and go along, so along, come and go. Song, and I don't know why. The dog wearing a sleeping bag. It's true. Oh, it's a dog day. They're all coming out now. The rain in the morning, the bright afternoon, the days of our lives that are over too soon, the ripples of incident rise and fall. There's so much to know, you can't measure it all. Away to the city somewhere that I find a way out of this great big impossible bind. An old man with a dog, a woman in a chair. You never know what you'll find till you get there. The eyes of tomorrow, the arrow of time. If you can't take it with you, you leave it behind. Like a jewel in the ocean or wash in the brine, as seen through the green tea of your mind. She said if I could just get up away and fly, I'd write my name like a bird in the sky. He said the sky isn't big enough for what you have to say, and you use your own language anyway. It was a good time for music, and they found a little bar where there were people in the mix and whiskey in the jar, and the music was medicine for the way that you feel. Maybe that's how we all have to heal. The eyes of tomorrow, the arrow of time. If you can't take it with you, you leave it behind. Like a jewel in the ocean, wash in the brine, as seen through the green tea of your mind. Some people have everything laid out on a platter. Some people don't care, and what does it matter? You face up to your burden, or you turn your tail and run. It's the hand that you're dealt, and everyone gets did a lot of drinking in your way back when, and one of these days you might do it again. But for now it's the green tea that suits you just right. Way in the morning, good luck, good night. The eyes of tomorrow, the arrow of time. If you can't take it with you, you leave it behind. Like a jewel in the ocean or wash in the brine, as seen through